A man was allegedly assaulted earlier this week, struck on the head with a tub of ice cream during the Palestine pro-action protest.
She's not engaging.
Oh, well done, mate. That was assault.
Police! Hey, police! Assault!
Despite video evidence, multiple police officers reportedly refused to arrest the suspect, only taking down personal details. The victim attempted to confront the assailant himself and was then caught in a volatile crowd demanding political condemnation, eventually being removed by the police. I'm now joined by the founder of the We Speak Truth Foundation, Chris Elston, otherwise known as Billboard Chris. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Capturing you on your travels across the world as you take your billboard and your message. Unfortunately, you come to the UK and you're attacked with ice cream. Sorry about that.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I can tell you it wasn't allegedly.
I think I saw it there.
Yeah. But
also, people at home won't know this, but you still smell of vanilla.
that's right. Yeah, I should thank him for the scent. Yes, so I've been on a mission for 5 years to raise awareness about what I consider to be the greatest child abuse scandal in the history of modern medicine, the crazy practice of trying to change the sex of children with puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries. So I travel around the world raising awareness. I have a sign that says children cannot consent to puberty blockers. And I do this radical thing, Josh. I have conversations.
It's never going to work.
Face-to-face.
Yes.
Out on the street and at universities. And so I'm used to all sorts of things happening. I've had my arm broken and I get assaulted on a rather regular basis, but I don't like focusing on that too much because I get support from more than 90% of the population. But when you go out on the street and there's big protests full of angry, hateful people, things are going to happen. But
well,
that's fine.
things are going to happen, but there may have been lots of angry, hateful people, but there are also, as you can see in the footage, lots of police.
Yeah.
It was very obvious what happened, and yet you went off and you tried to get the police to take action. And initially, anyway, from what I saw in the footage, they didn't seem particularly interested.
Right, and it was continual. So the man hit me on the head with his ice cream bucket, and then he's right there. He's feet away, and there's 100 police standing right there. And they did nothing, and I said, well, shall we go get him? And he says, well, let's get your details, please. My details. You want my address and my phone number. You want to take time taking down all my information while this guy's walking away. He's right there. He's got a big pro-Palestine flag. And so they were just trying to stall because they don't want to do anything about it. They were then told, I was then told that they couldn't leave where they were standing.
Yeah, I mean...
So a common assault occurs and they're not allowed to leave and do anything about it. Can any of the other 100 officers do anything? No, they can't. So then I talked to more, I showed them the video, that guy couldn't do anything, then I talked to more, showed them the video again, and they were telling me after the third group of police officers that once they see the video, then we can go look for him. And of course, as soon as I did the video and gave them my details, oh no, we can't do anything. So it's just a sign of the times. If I did that to someone, I would certainly be arrested.
Of course. And it's a sad state of affairs where I imagine that they thought that, well, if we go and arrest it, this is going to create a big hoo-ha and other people are going to start shouting at us and whatever. And of course, that's not doing their job. The message that sends to the rest of the protesters is that those kind of actions are acceptable.
Right.
Where, of course, that they're not in a civilised society. Now, I bumped into you earlier today at a very different kind of march, protesting against anti-Semitism. Any ice cream thrown your way?
No, I got nothing but love there. So I was out at Trafalgar Square having conversations like I do. I'll get some content up later. People go to Billboard Chris, they'll find that on all social media. But I was stopping for a coffee and I saw this beautiful march come through. Thousands of pro-Israel supporters, and they were as peaceful and loving as could possibly be. I marched along with them. I hung out there for about an hour, and not one single person had any disagreement with my message, which is children cannot consent to puberty blockers.
So, I mean, by the way, I fully agree with you. This is arguably the greatest medical scandal of our time, what's happened to children, particularly in the West. Interestingly, there's a side effect of this, that it's taken you on your journey around the world. So one of the things I guess you're seeing as you take your message and your billboard out there is you're seeing the different way, the different cultures that different countries, the way they react and enforce or not free speech. So can we talk about some of the other places you've been to and how that compares possibly to the UK?
Yeah, so I've been to 11 or 12 countries. I actually just won a freedom of speech lawsuit against the Australian government a few months ago. They ordered X to take down one of my posts where I criticized the appointment of a trans-identified female to the World Health Organization. I called her a woman because she is, and the Australian E-Safety Commissioner deemed that to be cyber abuse. And they ordered X to take it down or face an $800,000 fine. I appealed that. Elon Musk also appealed it. So we each had our own teams of lawyers, and we won decisively. So that was great. But then I was just at the European Parliament in Brussels a few months ago, meeting with some politicians, and then I went out on the street at 6 p.m. With my friend Lois McClatchy-Miller from ADF International. And we just stand there quietly. And anyone who wants to speak with us, we take the time to have a conversation. But we were getting surrounded and abused, and a mob was forming. So we called the police, and the police arrived, about 14 of them, 4 police vans. They deemed us to be the problem, ordered me to take off my signs and leave. I refused because I'm not going to cow to some mob, and freedom of expression is supposed to be guaranteed throughout the European Union. And so what happened was we were arrested. We were taken to a police station. We were then told we were being charged with causing a disturbance. We were handcuffed, taken to another police station, strip searched, put in jail, released at 9 p.m., no charges, no ticket. They sent my signs for destruction. And so they just wanted to get rid of us off the street, but they have no cause to.
And this goes back to what J.D. Vance, when he gave that talk in front of all the European leaders and talking about the threat to free speech in this country. I mean, this is the embodiment of it in what happened to you.
That's right. And this is supposed to be the home of democracy in the European Union. But we're going to take some legal action against them because someone has to stand up to these guys. They're just being bullies. And why? Because I'm trying to stop children from being maimed and sterilized and harmed for life.
Do you think that, I mean, have you seen a change over the last few years? The people surely are much more aware of this issue. But I'm also more interested in the willingness of people to actually talk.
So in the beginning of my campaign back in Vancouver, British Columbia, where I started, nobody knew what puberty blockers were. Today, I get nothing but support. I get high fives, people honking their car horns. I get so much support, easily more than 9 out of 10 people, and everywhere I go in the world.
But I'm interested in that 1 out of 10. Do you think that 1 out of 10, are they still full of hate about this issue, or are they actually willing to debate?
No, they don't want to talk. And I'm not there to change hearts and minds. People assume that. It happens, but I'm there to reach the normies in society, the people in the middle who know nothing about this. Because the far left, 5–10%, they're not interested in having a conversation. They don't want to know the truth, and there's nothing you can do with that. With them, I'll just say things that they agree with, and I'll ask them questions, the Socratic method, and maybe it gets them thinking down the road. Well,
look, thank you for coming on. I almost don't recognise you without a big wooden plate in the front of you. This is the founder of the We Speak Truth Foundation, Chris Elston. Met Police have said we are investigating this incident. No arrests have been made and inquiries are ongoing.